Hello friends, welcome to the point. In today's session, let's discuss about socio-cultural reform movements. In this session, we'll be discussing about the social cultural reform movements and their leaders. Rajaram Mohan Roy and Brahma Samaj. Rajaram Mohan Roy, he was often called the father of Indian Renaissance, and he is also called as the maker of modern India. Rajaram Mohan Roy, he believed in modern scientific approach and the principles of human dignity and social equality. So he put his faith in monotheism. He wrote Gift to Monotheist in 1809 and he translated into Bengali. In 1814, he set up Atmiya Sabha, which is known as Society of Friends, in Calcutta to propagate the monotheist ideals of Vedanta and to campaign against idolatry, caste rigidities, meaningless rituals and other social ills. Rajaram Mohan Roy, he founded Brahma Sabha in August 1828 and later Brahma Sabha was renamed as Brahma Samaj. The Samaj was committed to the worship and adoration of the eternal, unsearchable, immutable being who is the author and preserver of the universe. Ram Mohan Roy, he did not want to establish a new religion. He only wanted to purify Hinduism out of evil practices. The features of Brahma Samaj. It denounced polytheism and idol worship. It discarded the faith in divine avatars. Avatars means incarnations. It denied that any scripture could enjoy the status of ultimate authority, transcending human reason and conscience. Brahma Samaj took no definite stand on the doctrine of karma and transmigration of soul, and it left to the individual Brahmos to believe any of the way. It criticized the caste system. So Rajaram Mohan Roy's ideas and activists, it were also aimed at political upliftment of the masses through a social reform, and to that extent it can be said to have a nationalist undertones. Debendranath Tagore and the Brahma Samaj. Maharishi Debendranath Tagore, he is the father of Rabindranath Tagore and a product of best in traditional Indian learning and Western thought. He gave a new life to Brahma Samaj and a definite form and shape to the theist movement. Tagore headed the Tattva Bodhini Sabha, which was founded in 1839 and which, along with its organ Tattva Bodhini Patrika in Bengali, it was devoted to the systematic study of India's past with a rational outlook and to the propagation of Ram Mohan's idea. Tagore worked on two fronts. Within Hinduism, the Brahma Samaj was a reformist movement. And secondly, outside Hinduism, it resolutely opposed the Christian missionaries for their criticism of Hinduism and their attempts at conversion. The revitalized Samaj, it supported widow remarriage, women's education, abolition of polygamy, improvements in riots condition and temperance. Keshav, Chandrasen and Brahma Samaj. The Brahma Samaj, it experienced another phase of energy when Keshav Chandrasen was made the Acharya by Debendranath Tagore. Keshav, he was an instrumental in popularizing the movement. And the branches of the Samaj, it were opened outside Bengal in the United Provinces, Punjab, Bombay, Madras and other towns. And unfortunately, Debendranath, he did not like some of Sen's ideas which he found too radical. Keshav Chandrasen, he was dismissed from the office of Acharya in 1865. And Keshav and his followers, they founded the Brahma Samaj of India in year 1866. While Debendranath Tagore's Samaj, it came to be known as Adi Brahma Samaj. So in 1878, Keshav's inexplicable act of getting his 13-year-old daughter married to a minor Hindu Maharaja of Kuch, Bihar, with all the orthodox Hindu rituals, it caused another split in Keshav's Brahma Samaj of India. So earlier Keshav had begun to be considered as an incarnation by some of his followers, much to the dislike of his progressive followers. And further, Keshav had begun to be accused of authoritarianism. After 1878, the disgusted followers of Keshav, they set up a new organization, that is the Sadharan Brahma Samaj, and it reiterated the Brahmo's doctrine of faith in a supreme being, one God, the belief that no scripture or man is infallible, belief in the dictates of reason, truth and morality. Significance of the Brahma Samaj. So in the matters of social reform, the Samaj attacked many dogmas and superstitions. It condemned the prevailing Hindu prejudice against going abroad, and it worked for respectable status for women in the society. It condemned sati, worked for abolition of Parda system, it discouraged child marriage and polygamy. It also crusaded for widow remarriage and for provisions of educational facilities, and it also attacked casteism and untouchability. And in this matter of attacking casteism and untouchability, Brahma Samaj attained a limited success. The influence of the Brahma Samaj, it did not go much beyond Calcutta, and at most it reached Bengal, and it did not have a lasting impact. Prarthana Samaj. In 1867, Keshav Chandrasen, he helped Atmaram Panduranga to find the Prarthana Samaj in Bombay. A precursor of the Prarthana Samaj was Parahamsa Sabha. Mahadiyo Govinda Ranade, he joined the Samaj in 1870, and much of the popularity of his work done by the society was due to his efforts. And his efforts, it made the Samaj gain an all India character. The Prarthana Sabha, it was very attached to the Bhakti cult of Maharashtra, and the Samaj relied on education and persuasion, and there was a 4-point agenda: disapproval of caste system, women's education, widow remarriage, and raising the age of marriage for both male and females. And along with Karve, Ranade founded widow remarriage movement as well as widows home association, so with the aim of providing education and training to the widows so that they could support themselves. Derozio and Young Bengal movement. So during the late 1820s and early 1830s, there emerged a radical intellectual trend among the youth in Bengal, and which came to be known as the Young Bengal movement. A young Anglo-Indian called Henry Vivian Derozio, who taught at Hindu College from 1826 to 1831, was a leader and inspirer of this progressive trend. Dirozio had come from Scotland to sell watches in Calcutta, but later he made the spread of modern education in Bengal as his life's mission. Dirozio promoted radical ideas through his teachings and by organizing an association for debate and discussion on literature, philosophy, history, and science. He inspired his followers and students to question all the authorities. Dirozio and his followers, known as the Durgians and the Young Bengal, they were fiery patriots. Durgians and Young Bengals, they cherished the ideas of the French Revolution and the liberal thinking of Britain. Dirozio died of cholera at the very young age of 22. The Young Bengal movement, it continued after Dirozio's dismissal and his sudden death. And another outstanding reformer in Bengal was Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. He was a scholar of a great depth. He dedicated himself to cause of emancipation of women, and it was due to his sincere efforts that obstacles to the marriage of widows were removed through a law in 1856. He played a leading role in promoting education of girls, and he started and helped the setting up of number of schools for girls. Vidyasagar, he did not concern himself with religious questions, but however he was against all those who opposed reforms in the name of religion. So let's continue our discussion on socio-cultural and religious reform and their leaders in the next session. Thank you.